bringing sinners to Jesus. And they come unto him, bringing one sick of the palsy. Mark 2:3. And unless the palsy is VD or something, it's not really an appropriate verse reference for the header. The supreme purpose of every Christian should be to bring souls to Christ. Some should be brought to him for salvation, others for consecration, and still others for service. As a side note, chivalry is actually the way of the service nobility, rather than just silly manners. Jesus came to his home in Capernaum after one of his tours. When it was known that he was at home, a great crowd of people gathered and filled the house and yard. Jesus preached the word unto the multitudes. While the services were in progress, 4 men came to the house, bearing a paralyzed man, who was a sinner, on a couch. When the men could not get into the house through the door, for the press of the people, they went up the stairs on the outside of the house and lifted a section of the thatched roof and let the man down before Jesus in the room. We take a look at these 4 men who brought the sinner to Jesus. Section 1. They had concern for lost sinners. They come unto him, bringing one sick of the palsy. We do not know the name, age, vocation, nationality, or general disposition of a single one of these 4 men. We do not know whether they were in the house with Jesus and went together from there after the sick man, or whether they simply heard that Jesus had come home and went after the man. We do know that these men had a deep concern for this sinful paralytic. It was a concern about the soul of the man. Before Christians will bring sinful men to Jesus for forgiveness, they must have a deep and abiding concern for the soul. These 4 men represent all Christians everywhere who are anxious that sinners be saved and who are willing to seek to bring them to Jesus. Part 2. They had knowledge of the Lord Jesus. The actions of these men is sufficient proof that they had knowledge of Jesus and of his power to heal the sick and to save the soul from sin. I don't know if we can say by what we've quoted so far that that last bit was there. Evidently, they had seen Jesus healing the sick, opening the eyes of the blind, and blessing needy people of all circumstances of life. Nowadays, if people know of a healer and they have the resources, they go around to healers. They knew that Jesus had power to heal, was willing and ready to heal, and that he had power, ability, and willingness to save from sin. These 4 men represent all who know Christ, love him, have faith in him, and make effort to bring needy souls to him. This is life eternal, that they might know thee, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom thou hast sent. John 17:3. Part 3. They had ability to overcome difficulties. These 4 men were faced with grave difficulties in bringing this man to Jesus. This man was sick, he was paralyzed, and possibly unable to move himself, and in agony when others moved him. They had no conveyance and had to carry him on his couch. It is possible that the sinner did not want to see Jesus, for no sinner, until he is convicted of sin and his ruined condition, desires to see Jesus. Well, wouldn't it be no sinner? Would want to see somebody that, Well, unless they want to correct themselves or something, right? When they reached the house, they could not get near the door for the crowd, and had to lift the man up the stairs, remove part of the roof, and let the man down into the room before Jesus. These were wise men, and they knew how to overcome. It takes wise people to bring sinners to Jesus. The book says, "He that winneth souls is wise." Proverbs 11:30. All who seek to bring sinners to Jesus meet with difficulties, but these can be overcome by the grace of God. Part 4. They saw the glory of Christ. They were all amazed and glorified God, saying, "We never saw it on this fashion." Mark 2:12. When Jesus saw the faith of the 4 men, he said unto the sick of the palsy, "Son, thy sins be forgiven thee." Verse 5. When the scribes heard him speak, they accused him of blasphemy in offering to forgive sin, which only God could do. Well, doesn't the Bible say that Jesus didn't speak his own doctrine, but the doctrine of the one who sent him? So just like Muhammad, he could tell people that, you're going to succeed in life spiritually. But he couldn't tell everybody that, because some people would make fewer good decisions or might, make some bad decisions because they're like, well, Jesus then sealed the matter by commanding the man to arise, take up his bed, and go home. It is the glory of Christ that he has power to heal the sick and to save the soul from sin. Those who bring sinners to Jesus may see the glory of Christ in the salvation of souls. The experiences of these 4 men are worthy of emulation by all Christians. All men should seek to bring sinners to Jesus.